morning all. We are gathered here for case study discussion on role of EM waves in wireless communication systems. So EM wave is nothing but it is an electromagnetic wave. It consists of electric and magnetic field which are perpendicular to each other, and both the electric and magnetic field will be perpendicular to the propagation of wave. So we all discussed about electric field and magnetic field in classes. So this EM wave will propagate in a free space. It doesn't require any medium for propagation. The free space is sufficient for propagation of these waves. So it takes the speed of the light. So we all know the speed of the light, 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. So it takes the speed of the light and it propagates in a free space and it carries the information as a packet. So whenever we make a call or send the information, or whenever we connect to Wi-Fi, the information is being transmitted through, the data is being transmitted through the electromagnetic waves. So it is a foundation for wireless communication. So now we are going to have a discussion on what is the role of this EM wave in wireless communication system. Okay, let's start the discussion.
So myself Amita, I am going to discuss how EM waves carry information. Electromagnetic waves, they by themselves they carry the energy, but for information transformation they use the process called modulation. Types of modulation: frequency modulation, amplitude modulation, and phase modulation. In frequency modulation, information is added by changing the frequency of the wave, and in amplitude modulation, the information is added by changing the amplitude of the wave. In phase modulation, the frequency is encoded by changing the frequency phase of the wave. For example, in mobile communication, the voice we talk over the mobile is converted into electrical signal, and that electrical signal is converted into EM waves, and then it is transmitted.
So for long distance communication, modulation is being used. So in amplitude modulation, phase modulation and frequency modulation, we will be adding the carrier wave along with the message signal and will be transmitting, and will be changing the amplitude, phase and frequency of a carrier wave. We won't be touching this information. Information is left unaltered. We'll be varying the characteristics of carrier wave and will be transmitting. And this process we call it as a modulation. Okay, next.
Now I will explain the working principle of wireless communication in step-by-step process. Transmitter converts information into signal, modulates it into EM waves. Receivers receive the waves. Propagation. In propagation, EM waves travels through the air of space. Demodulates it onto EM waves. For example, when you call someone, your phone sends EM waves to the nearby tower, which forward them to receiver.
So modulation is one which takes place in transmitter, and demodulation takes place at the receiver. We will be having a transmitter, receiver, modulation in transmitter and demodulation in receiver, and mid will be having a channel. Channel here is a free space. Okay, next one.
So hello everyone, I am Vishnu from SNS ECC. So I am going to explain about the role of electromagnetic waves in wireless communication system. So I am going to explain about two topics like signal transmission and long distance communications. Now in signal transmission, let us consider a scenario where we need to send a message to our friend in WhatsApp. That is voice message. So when we send a voice message through WhatsApp, first a phone converts a voice into a signal. Then the signal is carried by electromagnetic wave to the nearest cell tower in the speed of light. So after this process, again the cell tower sends a signal back to a friend's mobile phone. Again a friend's mobile phone, a voice signal converts into a voice message. So this whole process happens just within few seconds. So without electromagnetic wave, this couldn't happen.
So hello everyone, I am Pushmita. Now we will see the enabling of mobility. So in today's era, it is very common that wireless networks are used by many students and working professions. So in that case, when we go back to the olden days, wireless networks are not there, and we use only wired networks to connect with people, or use mobile phones and everything. But in today's generation, it has become very easy for us through this wireless networks. So for that, the very important thing we see here is mobile phones and wireless internets. So next we see is efficient spectrum usage. The electromagnetic spectrum is divided into few frequency bands. So they are radio waves, that is radio and TV signals, and next is microwaves, that are mobile networks and radar. So the last one we see is infrared, that is remote controls. So, by using all these frequency bands, we get uninterrupted signals while using it. Thank you.
So I'm Subhashri. Now we are going to see about an advantages and limitations of an EMF waves using wireless communications. So advantages of EMF wave is no physical cable wires are needed, supports fast data transfer and enables real-time communication. So limitations of EMF waves are signal attenuation, supports spectrum, limited spectrum, and security risks are the challenges of an EMF waves without wireless communication. Thank you.
So we all had a discussion on role of EM wave in modern communication system, wireless communication. So this EM wave is because of this EM wave, the communication becomes more fast and reliable. As the technology advances, this EM wave's role will become more prominent. So thank you all for your valuable.